organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, a green Christmas. We're talking Christmas trees and where to find them.
And I'll tell you how this winter storm affected people across the nation.
And in sports, we recap a wild weekend in college football.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Well, get out your shovels. The ground is looking pretty white.
And Winter Storm Dion swept across the country today, dumping up to 4 inches in Iowa and up to 6 in some eastern states. Good evening, I'm Muriel Kone.
And I'm Rebecca Hager. Dion is the first winter storm Iowa has seen this year. In Des Moines, it caused a 20-car pileup on Interstate 80.
And we're also seeing some minor accidents in the Iowa City, Coralville area. We have weather reporter Megan Tignor on set to tell us about the effects of Winter Storm Dion.
The storm is a good reminder to stay safe in snowy conditions. I was outside earlier today and even the sidewalks were slick. Winter Storm Dion began this weekend in Washington, California, and Nevada. It dumped snow in some southern states too. On Saturday, over 300 flights were canceled at Texas International Airport. In North Texas, some 267,000 customers were without power because of the ice. Today, Dion made its way up the East Coast and through the Midwest. Parts of Interstate 80 in Des Moines were closed Sunday morning because of a 20-car pileup. Southbound Interstate 29 was closed in Sioux City midday because of an accident. The worst of the snow is ending tonight between 9 and 10, but be careful, wind could sneak up on us and cause more travel problems. I'll have more on Monday's weather as well as the rest of the week coming up.
Thanks, Megan. In Iowa, we expect the holidays to be white, but how about a green Christmas? Many families are on the hunt for their perfect tree. From Fraser fir to Scotch pine, it can be difficult picking the right tree. Our own Tiara Simpson has you covered.
It's always a festive time in Flower-Rama during the holiday season. With approximately 250 Christmas trees and 300 wreaths, it can get pretty chaotic.
It really starts actually before December. So the end of November is when everyone starts buying those Christmas wreaths. And it goes in phases. The wreaths are first, and then it's trees, and then it's poinsettias. So we can kind of phase it out. But yeah, I mean, our sales jump huge increases in December.
With the holidays right around the corner, one of Flower-Rama's best sellers have been Christmas trees.
Picking the perfect tree can be very time-consuming when you take into consideration the variety of trees that's offered.
Tammy Alger, the owner of Flower-Rama, suggests customers to be careful when picking their special tree.
When you're selecting your tree, you have to keep in mind that it may be more tightly closed and it'll spread out farther once it's came out of its dormancy.
In addition, when picking the perfect Christmas tree, customers will want to consider any family traditions, the height of the tree, and the structure of the tree branches. Smythe enjoys seeing the looks on customers' faces when they find their tree. Once the tree has been set up, it will last approximately 3 weeks before it starts to dry out and will need proper disposal. Tiara Simpson, Daily Iowan TV.
The University of Iowa Health Alliance announced it would give a $1 million gift to the Rural Iowa Primary Care Loan Repayment Program. The repayment program encourages students to pick specialties and work in locations that have a higher health need in exchange for loan forgiveness. To receive gifts, students must agree to work in an area of medical need following graduation. They can receive up to 5 installments of $20,000 through the program. 10 students are chosen to be part of the program, 5 of them from the University of Iowa. The gift will potentially put an additional 5 students through medical school.
The Iowa economy is expected to take a hit over the next 4 years. Iowa could see a $1.4 billion hit to farm income because of low prices and high production costs. Experts are comparing the expected decline to the 1980s farm crisis, which was the only time the farm industry had a financial loss. While they believe the hit will be severe, it likely won't be as unrelenting.
The Community Foundation of Johnson County gave out $200,000 in grants this weekend. The foundation awarded 52 nonprofits in Johnson County. Some of the local nonprofits include Film Scene, Project Green, and the Coralville Food Pantry.
Coming up next, a finals freakout. In Medical Minute, we have some untraditional ways to manage that stress.
And in sports, an update on action on the hardwood for both Fran McCaffrey and Lisa Bluter's Hawks.
But first, let's take a look at the 6-day forecast. Megan?
Thanks, guys. For all you students out there, this week is going to be cold, all temps below freezing. Tomorrow morning, the high will only be in the low teens. Moving into the afternoon, we can expect clear skies, but a low temperature of 0. At night, the high temperature should be only around 9 degrees. Now, looking ahead to the rest of the week, those clear skies should carry over into Tuesday with a high of 30 and a low in the upper teens. Wednesday, the temperature will drop to a high of 21 and a low of 3 degrees. Thursday shows partly cloudy skies and the temp in the low 30s. That temperature should remain the same throughout the weekend with cloudy skies on Saturday. So for anyone that's going to be outside this week, make sure to bundle up for these below freezing temps. Stay warm, everyone, and back to you both after this message.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?
The farmers market is beating the cold. Local businesses are selling inside for the winter months. They've moved to the Iowa City Marketplace on Sycamore Street. Vendors sell a variety of goods, including apples, root vegetables, honey, and eggs. You can also find crocheted hats, woodworkings, candles, soap, and lotion at the market.
It's wonderful because it's a new area of town, so we can reach a whole different group of people and give our vendors a chance to be, selling their products throughout the winter.
You can attend the market on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Merrill Newman is back on U.S. soil after being detained in North Korea for several weeks. North Korea released a video of the 85-year-old American war vet reading an alleged confession of war-killing North Koreans during the Korean War. The country cites Newman's age and health as reasons to release him.
Big change could be coming to cancer treatment. Doctors are reporting incredible success with a new treatment. It uses gene therapy and transforms blood cells into cells that seek and destroy cancer.
France and the African Union are sending a couple thousand more troops into the Central African Republic. The move comes after several days of violence that left hundreds dead. Thousands of Christians are seeking refuge, fearing reprisal attacks from the Muslim rebels that now control the country. Finals are just around the corner, and the anxiety is building on campus. You can cut back on some stress in simple ways, just as getting enough sleep or drinking tea. But if that isn't enough to help you ease your mind, our reporter Mary LaPlaca put together a few creative ways to de-stress.
The first, buy a lottery ticket. Lottery tickets are a cheap way to have a couple of seconds of fun, and who knows, you may end up as a lucky winner this finals week.
Let out a couple swear words. Research has shown that swearing minimizes stress and increases workflow.
Or study in a completely new place. Being in a new place allows your brain to break your traditional thought pattern and will allow your mind to get down to business. And selfies. Studies have come out that say visualization is a quick and fun way to reduce stress. So this week for finals, you can feel no shame sending out as many silly Snapchats as you want.
And last but not least, a kiss a day will keep the stress away. Kissing allows your body to release endorphins, and the physical connection will make you feel less isolated, which is connected to anxiety.
Now, we're not condoning that you go gambling or kiss anyone on the street. These are just suggestions to let some stress out.
One way I de-stress is by eating ice cream during finals. It works.
Perfect. Sugar always does it. Well, if you have any remedies to de-stress, let us know by tweeting at DATV News. And no Hawkeye football this weekend, but there was still plenty of pigskin to take in.
That doesn't mean there wasn't a lot going on this weekend in Hawkeye sports. So for more of everything black and gold, let's toss it over to Aaron Faust, who's waiting in the Daily Iron TV sports studio. Aaron, what's going on?
Hey guys, welcome to this Sunday edition of the show. It was a huge weekend in college sports on the gridiron and court. Numerous conference champions were crowned yesterday on a busy championship Saturday. We'll start in the Big Ten, where a trip to the BCS title game was on the line for Ohio State, but the Spartans of Michigan State would have none of it, snapping Ohio State's 24-game winning streak and handing Urban Meyer his first loss as head coach of the Buckeyes. Elsewhere around the country, Florida State punched its ticket to Pasadena after beating Duke. Auburn will likely face the Seminoles in the title game after beating Mizzou in the SEC title game. Baylor defeated Texas in the de facto Big 12 title game, beating the Longhorns to book their trip to the Fiesta Bowl. Stanford will return to the Rose Bowl for the second straight year after beating Arizona State in Tempe 38-14. On the hardwood, the men's and women's teams both picked up wins yesterday. Bluter's Bunch cruised to their 6th win in a row over Idaho State. 95-47, the Hawks poured in a school record 17 three-pointers. Melissa Dixon continued her hot streak shooting the three ball, hitting 6 of 11 shots she took from behind the arc.
They work hard at it, and it's one of those contagious things too. Once they start flying in, it's easy for it to just seem like that basket's getting bigger and bigger. So, I love watching the points score up like that. That's fun.
The men's team also found success on Saturday against Drake in the Big Four Classic. The Hawkeyes beat the Bulldogs 83-66. Melson Basabi led the team in scoring with 15 points on a 7-10 shooting. Devin Marble and Peter Jock poured in 14 points apiece. The men's basketball team wasn't the only team in the competition in Wells Fargo Arena this weekend. Whitney Blakemore has details on a Hawkeye team getting their chance to compete.
For Iowa Hawkeye fans, the dance team is just a part of the game day experience, dancing on the sidelines and cheering on their Hawks. But on top of being at every sporting event, the dance team has their own competition to compete at. This weekend, the Iowa dance team traveled to Des Moines to compete in the Iowa State Dance Championships. All high school and college dance teams in the state come together and compete for the state title. For 2 years now, the Hawks have dominated the competition and brought home the first place trophy. And for the first time ever, Iowa prepared 2 routines, competing for 2 state titles in both the pom and jazz categories.
It's a lot different because it's more of a time crunch to get both routines ready for performance. And usually we only have one. In the past we've done jazz, so this year we've had pom and jazz to get done and compete today.
Iowa took home first place in the pom category, beating Iowa State and Drake. But in the jazz division, the Hawks gave up their trophy to the Cyclones for the first time in 3 years.
For me, as a freshman, it's kind of motivation, just that much more for nationals and the rest of the season, just to work and push, especially because we knew coming in that jazz was the one that we were less confident about, just because we really started running it full out and hardcore about 2 weeks ago. So just to know that we can hold our own even with that time crunch is an awesome feeling still. So
while the ladies fell short to victory in jazz, winning pom when never competing in that category at state before is an accomplishment in itself.
We have 2 routines and basketball and volleyball and wrestling and football and all this and public appearances and all this stuff to worry about. So just the fact that we can work hard enough and be one energy to get 2 great routines out on the floor is awesome.
For now, the dance team will take their critiques from the judges and get back to cheering on their Hawks and preparing for their upcoming nationals this January in Orlando, Florida. Whitney Blakemore, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
That's all for now. Tune in tomorrow for full coverage and reaction to Iowa's bowl game. Back to you at the desk.
Before we go tonight, we have one more story for you coming out of Cedar Rapids. There is a moose on the loose. A large male moose is running through Iowa, and it was last seen outside of Cedar Rapids. The State Department of Natural Resources has been tracking the moose as it moves southward. It was first spotted in November, and officials believe that it has covered roughly 100 miles and likely came from northern Minnesota.
Only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan.
Read about Sustainability Summit and the University of Iowa Student Government's 2020 goals.
And read how one local woman is participating in a Walk of American event.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.